With your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man arriving at its departure soon, I wanted to give my quick thoughts on the show as a whole and its characters and the story. Let's talk about the animation for a bit. The show's comic book inspired 3D animation is, I gotta say, visually appealing, but the character movements can feel stiff at times, and especially during transitions. What I mean by this, and I'll give a prime example, there's a scene, and spoilers ahead, there's a scene between Spider-Man and Daredevil, and they're fighting, and while the choreography is impressive, the 3D animation combined with a seemingly lower frame rate makes the movements feel less fluid than they could be. Whereas 2D animation often allows for stylized and expressive movement, sometimes avoiding the need to fully animate complex 3D body rotations. I understand the show's desire to stand out with a unique style, and while the animation has its flaws, I mean, once you get engrossed in the story and the dialogue, these nitpicky details tend to fade out in the background. Peter's character. So I wanted to talk about Peter in this show, as there's so many different Spider-Man shows and the way they depict Peter Parker. Let's talk about this one. A perfect example of Peter's enduring awkwardness, or perhaps innocence, unfolds in a scene at Oscorp Tower. After Norman Osborn discovers Peter's identity as Spider-Man, Peter enters Norman's office only to be met with the activation of Do Not Disturb mode as the doors and windows seal shut. Peter's initial reaction isn't concern or suspicion, but rather wide-eyed amaze. He says, "Wow, now this is some serious privacy," momentarily forgetting the gravity of the situation. He then launches into a rambling, almost stream of consciousness tangent about how he wishes he had such a feature in his own room, fantasizing about using it to keep May out when he eventually were to have a girl over, or any company for that matter. He even clarifies his relationship with Nico, who's a character in the show who acts like his platonic friend. Norman's dry interruption stating that the protocol is in place to discuss Spider-Man abruptly snaps Peter back to reality, highlighting his tendency to get sidetracked and carried away, even in potentially serious situations. It's this blend of naiveness and rambling enthusiasm that makes Peter such a relatable and endearing character. So I do love this sort of take on an alternate MCU, if you will, because we have more characters from the Spider-Man mythos connected to the MCU characters, like seeing Otto Octavius interact with Iron Man. This is stuff we can't really have because of the annoyance or film rights for Spidey between Marvel and Sony, so it sort of creates this what if concept, which in my opinion offers fun and can lead to all kinds of possibilities, unlike other what ifs. The overall plot of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is in some ways straightforward. The origin story gets a twist. Peter is bitten by a spider that emerges from a Doctor Strange portal, opened up during a fight with a symbiote. This is a significant departure from the classic school field trip scenario, and while it's a fresh take, I'm still sort of undecided on how I feel about it. It removes the element of chance and puts a slightly more cosmic spin on Peter's origin. The show then jumps to present day, where Peter is already active as Spider-Man. He's introduced to Norman Osborn, who fills as a mentor role similar to Tony Stark in the main MCU timeline. This is an interesting change, I'll say, because it allows us to actually see Norman guiding Peter both as a student and as Spider-Man. Norman is in fact aware of Peter's intelligence, but later on discovers his dual identity and offers to actually help hone his skills down and become a better hero and a better Spider-Man. And while despite the controversy, in conclusion, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, while exhibiting some shortcomings in its 3D animation, ultimately delivers an engaging and unique take on the Spider-Man mythos. Peter's endearing character, a blend of awkwardness and enthusiasm, shines through, and the show's exploration of the alternate MCU. While the altered origin story presents a significant change, the dynamic between Peter and Norman Osborn provides a compelling new dimension to the familiar narrative. Ultimately, the strength of the story is what matters the most to me, and despite its flaws, like I said, and some of the changes to the established characters, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man provides a worthwhile addition to the Spider-Man universe, leaving viewers with a sense of both nostalgia and fresh possibilities. Let me know what you guys think down below. Would love to hear your thoughts. Do you like the show? Do you not like it? What do you think of the certain character changes they got going on? Personally, not that big of a deal for me. I just want a good story being told, and I really do care about Peter Parker and Spider-Man the most in the entire show. So yeah, I think it's fun, and with future seasons confirmed and with what they have been doing recently with the show, it just makes me a whole lot more excited for what they have in store for us. So yeah, with that said, thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Later. Peace.